It's Monday morning and I'm supposed to be in California, but I'm not there. So here's what's going on that led to the trip being canceled and why flying standby is interesting. So I'm supposed to be in California this morning. I was going to fly out yesterday afternoon, go visit my dad, try Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, go to Sacramento, California State Railroad Museum, and have a nice visit. And, well, let's just say plans got changed. One of the things that happens, well, first off, Six Flags last week, a couple days before I was going to go, apparently sat down and decided to change their hours. So today, when they were going to be open, they actually ended up changing to closing. So, oh, good. A couple days before we go, yes, we're not going to be doing Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. But then, flying standby is interesting. And it basically is what eventually led to not doing the trip. One of the things you have to be aware of if you fly standby on an airline, basically it means that you are filling in an empty seat. And the whole idea of it is you try to find the empty seats on the flights going where you want to go. And if there's not an empty seat, well, then you don't get on. And so you have to be very flexible. You have to be willing to juggle your schedules and kind of figure out where you're going to go. So, for example, I was looking at flying out of Springfield. Well, Springfield apparently is a very popular airport because its flights fill up and oftentimes overfill. So it makes it interesting to get in and out of Springfield. So we have another alternate airport down in Arkansas that I was going to fly out of. Had two flights Sunday afternoon, one that was pushing full but might have been able to get on, and then a second one a little bit later. Okay, I'm confident I'm going to get out of Arkansas. I can get to the big hub airport that I'm then going to use to fly out to Sacramento. Well, again, its flights are kind of flexing a little bit, and so I'm talking with my dad, who I'm going to visit with, and he's struggling because I'm like, well, Dad, assuming that I can make it on this flight, I'll be on the flight to Sacramento at this point in time, unless it ends up full, which it might. And then I have an option of I can come in at midnight, or I can stay overnight and I can come in the next morning, because there are seats on that flight. And you just have to be able to juggle and flex with it. And that was a little hard for him. He's kind of going, well, I don't know. Are you coming in Sunday night? Are you coming in Monday? If you have to come in Monday, where are you going to stay? How are you going to make this work? And then I made the mistake of telling my dad about my potential return trip home. Because, again, you flex Springfield. In particular, the main route is very popular. And so what I was telling him, I says, well, yeah, and then my trip home right now I'm booked from Sacramento to the main hub, and then from there up to Springfield. But because those Springfield flights book up, there's a good chance I may have to fly from Sacramento to the main hub, to a secondary hub, which is over on the East Coast, and then to Springfield. Yeah, and just take this nice long route, and then hopefully I get all the seats in. And there's a chance that I may get to the secondary hub and the flights are full, in which case then I stay there overnight, and then I have to fly first thing in the morning. And my dad was just listening to this. And now keep in mind, my dad is in his mid-70s. So he's never been a big flexer. And if you're one of those that you have to have a set schedule and a set way to do things, flying standby is not for you, because it doesn't work that way. You may lay out plans and hope to do something, and then because there's not seats available, you may not get that. And he was just having a hard time dealing with this. Now, there are definite benefits to flying that way, because you fly very cheap, or depending upon your status, you may fly free. But you get the tickets at a good discount if you are affiliated with an airline employee. And a cat at your window. See? Look, it's a kitty. Does anybody want a kitty? Yeah, now she's gone. So there's that. And then the other thing that does happen sometimes is those empty seats sometimes end up in first class, which is really nice. Or you could end up in the middle seat at the very back of the coach, squished. You never know. You just take whatever seat you get. And hopefully it gets you where you want to go. But anyways, long story short, my dad he was not comfortable with the flying arrangement because it was so flexible and so much in flux. And I'm like, hey, this is what it is. This is kind of cool. You get an adventure. You never know how it's going to work out. And my dad just wasn't quite able to deal with that. So Saturday night, late Saturday night, my dad actually calls me up and says, I'm just thinking about this and I'm not sure I'm comfortable with it. And let's just hold off on this and let's rebook it in the spring and we'll buy tickets so I don't have to worry about when you're coming in because I'll know. So what we are looking at now is, instead of doing the trip this week, like I was hoping, we're looking sometime in the spring, and I will go and we'll pick a time when Great America is open, when Discovery Kingdom is open, when the Railroad Museum is open, and we will try to catch all three of those at that point. And in the meantime, I'm home for this week when I wasn't expecting to. You can see my shelves are almost empty. You can hear that cat being a goofball. But we're in the process. I actually have somebody right now, a friend of mine, working on the wiring in my daughter's old bedroom, which I'm then going to move everything in. So fingers crossed, I'm hoping to move stuff and start setting up the new set and office and everything either tonight or tomorrow. We'll see. Fingers crossed. But yeah, that's going to be the last look you get at this set. Because it's going bye-bye as well. So, in any case, that's kind of what's happened. That's why the trip's on hold, and we'll see what happens in the future. And then we're hoping this week to hear about Israel. Don't know yet. 50-50. We're hoping. We'll see. So, in any case, that's a brief update for you and why there's not a Park Tales and why I'm not doing other stuff. There will be a live stream this weekend. Be sure to check on the channel. You'll see the icon and the schedule post up. Planning on Saturday afternoon, so hopefully I will see you then. Look for it. Hope you can join us. Thanks so much for watching. God bless.